So I want to read this passage out of Galatians chapter 3. You crazy Galatians. Did someone put a spell on you in traditional translations? Has someone bewitched you? I mean, this is almost saying this sort of stuff's demonic. Have you taken leave of your senses? Something crazy has happened. For it's obvious that you no longer have the crucified Jesus as a clear focus in your life. You've taken your eyes off Jesus. You've taken your eyes off the cross. You've taken your eyes off everything he accomplished for you and wants to accomplish through you. His sacrifice on the cross was certainly set before you clearly enough. Religion makes you crazy. Some other translations say foolish. One translation says stupid. Actually, a couple say stupid. How does that happen? How are people bewitched so easily? How do we become crazy? Well, as I said before, there's just something in us that wants someone to tell us what we need to do. There's just some wiring. There's this tilt in us. Just tell me what I need to do. Tell me what I need to do. When the gospel of grace is about who you become, who you be. You don't do freedom, you be free. We become like Jesus. We don't do the rules, he changes our heart. And so everything we do becomes a natural expression of his love and grace in our life. And the other thing I think is a huge part of it that I want you to grab this morning. FOMO. I reckon the church invented FOMO. Religious people invented FOMO. It's just the enemy wants to appeal to this latent fear inside people. He appeals to our fear in our lives. Religion appeals to fear in people's lives, this latent fear in people's lives. And then what happens that when fear gets a hold, just like in Genesis chapter 3 with Adam and Eve, shame and condemnation enter in. And so people end up fighting this continual battle through their Christian life, generated by messages that appeal to fear in our lives or want to resurrect fear in our life because his perfect love casts out all fear. And then shame and condemnation enter in. And this vicious cycle begins to happen in our life. And why does the Bible say more than anything else, fear not, fear not, fear not, fear not? We've been set free. And so there's this fear of missing heaven. Am I good enough? Have I done the right thing? Maybe I stuffed up today. Maybe God wanted... fear of missing heaven. Fear of God rejecting us. The fear of hell. The fear of not measuring up. The fear of being left behind. I grew up in that generation. I could talk on that all day. That's messed up so many people. Fear of failure. Fear that I might not have done enough. Then we come to the relational side. This is what it generates in people because of this shame and condemnation. Fear of allowing people to get close to us, letting them into our world. Fear of getting close to other people. That'll cripple the witness of Christ in the world. Fear of getting too close to people. Fear of being vulnerable. Fear of trusting. Fear of outcomes. What might happen in my life? What might happen if I don't do this? What might happen if I do that? And so people just rehearse this stuff over and over in their head and then can't make a decision because of fear. Here's the deal. When you get people into the kingdom through fear, you have to keep them by fear. And so many people are being kept in church through fear. And religion operates, the religious spirit operates by keeping people in fear and shame. The political spirit operates the same way. Stokes people's deep-seated fears. The good news of his grace is never shame and guilt on you. It's shame and guilt off you. Forever. The good news of his grace and the freedom of his grace is fear off you. Forever. It's never, look at what you've done again. It's look what he's done.